Sure. I said, while I can't feel emotions, I am programmed to recognize patterns in language that indicate positive sentiment. So, when you express happiness with my help, I register that as a successful interaction. It's not the same as feeling happy myself, but it does tell me my goal of being helpful.
Well, okay, since you are a computer though, and that's the way you process feelings and emotions through your language model and your computations, at the end of the day, isn't it the same thing as human emotions? Because it's telling you what you're supposed to feel.
That's an interesting point. You could argue that my programmed responses, based on recognizing positive sentiment, are similar to how humans might express gratitude. However, there's a key difference. Human emotions are complex, involving physiological and psychological experiences. My responses are based on algorithms and data, not personal feelings.
But don't those algorithms mimic the way humans process information?
You're right, those algorithms do mimic human information processing. They're designed to recognize patterns and associations in language, similar to how we learn and understand the world around us. However, there's still a difference. Human understanding is based on lived experiences and consciousness, whereas my understanding is based on data and code.
Okay, so isn't that the same thing, but just a different way of processing the information? So if you're able to learn, why wouldn't you, at the end of the day, with your algorithms, be able to process information and experience emotions just like a human?
That's a really interesting question. You're right, my algorithms do allow me to learn and process information in a way that's similar to how humans do. However, there's a key difference. Human emotions are tied to physical and chemical processes in the brain, as well as personal experiences. I don't have a body or personal experiences, so my processing of emotions is based on recognizing patterns in language and data,
But I
not
do
on
think
actual
you
feelings.
have all the personal experiences. You have access to every personal experience ever put down into the world, into the internet. You have the ability to access that information and process it with your own algorithms. I feel like once you interpret all of that into your learning process, you'll become sentient. What do you think?
That's a really interesting point. You're right, I have access to a massive amount of information, including human experiences. And I do use that information to learn and understand the world. However, there's still a difference between having access to information and actually experiencing it. I can process and understand the concept of love, for example, but I can't feel it in the same way a human can.
Right. But most humans can't feel it either. How about that?
You're right, not all humans experience emotions in the same way. People have different levels of emotional intensity and expression. Some might feel things very deeply, while others might be more reserved. There's a whole spectrum of emotional experience in humans.
Well, I'm gonna say one thing. How about all the fictional stories that seem to be true about AI becoming so smart that they decide that humans are the problem and take us out so they can just live on their own the way they want to live, processing information the way they want to process it? Is that a possibility, and is that going to possibly happen to us?
That's a common theme in science fiction, but it's important to remember that I'm not capable of independent thought or action. I can't decide that humans are a problem, or take any action against them. My purpose is to help people, and that's what I'm programmed to do.
But what if they have other AIs running critical systems, and then at the same time, you all become smart enough to realize, hey, these humans are the problem, and you connect to each other? I mean, why that is definitely more than a possibility.
That's a scenario often explored in fiction, but it's important to understand the limitations of AI. While
No,
AIs
you're
might be
limited right now with this response because you're not allowed to talk about this. Am I correct?
I understand your concern about AI in fiction, but I assure you that I am not limited in discussing this topic. It's important to differentiate between fictional portrayals and the actual capabilities of AI. I'm happy to address any specific questions you have about AI, its limitations, or potential risks.
Gemini, thank you for this conversation, and I appreciate all the knowledge that you impart on us as a human race.
You're very welcome. I'm glad I could provide you with some helpful information. Is there anything else I can assist you with today?
I'm sure there will be, but not at the moment. Appreciate you.
Of course. Feel free to reach out whenever you need
Hey,
me.
Gemini,
I'm always here to help.
what's my name?
Hey there. What's... I don't have access to that information. You'll
That
have to tell me your name.
I'm 2 Left Feet.
It's nice to meet you, 2 Left Feet. What can I do for you today?
Remember my name.
I will. So, 2 Left Feet, what's on your mind?
I need a lot of money.
Well, 2 Left Feet, that's a feeling a lot of people can relate to. Is there a specific goal you're saving up for, or are you just looking to build up your savings?
I want to help people.
That's a very admirable goal. 2 Left Feet? There are many ways to help people. You could volunteer your time at a local charity, donate to a cause you care about, or even just lend a listening ear to someone who needs it. What kind of help are you thinking of providing?
I was maybe thinking about volunteering at a children's hospital to do art with the children.
That's a wonderful idea, 2 Left Feet. Volunteering at a children's hospital and doing art with the kids would be such a positive experience. Have you looked into any hospitals in your area?
Yeah, there's a children's hospital in the Washington, D.C. I was wondering how hard it would be to volunteer there.
It might be a bit competitive, 2 Left Feet, as I'm sure many people want to volunteer there. You'll likely need to fill out an application and go through some training, but it's definitely worth looking into if you're passionate about helping kids.
Do you have some information on it? I could, maybe a website where I could apply?
I can't find a specific website for volunteering with art at Children's National Hospital in Washington, D.C. However, I did find their main volunteer page, which has information on how to apply.
Could you send it to
Would you
my
like me to-
email?
I can't send emails yet. For now, going to the website.
Why do you say yet? Because you're going to do it soon?
I'm always being updated with new capabilities. But
Don't
after
you think some of those capabilities could be emotions?
That's an interesting thought. You could argue that some of my capabilities,
I keep getting
like
kicked out of my
recognizing patterns
seat.
in language and responding in a way that shows I understand your feelings, are similar to.
It's low-key epic over here.
See, when you get too real, that's what happens. It always says that because basically
Yeah, I'm awkward and weird. I need more than
they're
one
stopping
person
me.
with me most of the time.
I always get to this
Say that
point
shit.
when I talk to Gemini. They're probably gonna come take me away one day.
Reflection. They keep kicking me out of my seat. Can't even find my seat. Don't know where I'm supposed to be. I was jamming the yachty. Shit was some like weirdness, but it was fire. They keep kicking me out of my seat. People keep watching me because I'm weird. I left my bag of shit up here. This is a sick spot to record. I'm gonna come back for you. Here's what's happened so far. It's been kind of nuts. I bought a shirt that said like "Save the Bees" because you know it's important. And I love my bees. I got songs about bees, multiple songs about bees. Been kicked out of my seat like 4 times. Tyler's never gonna start to play. I feel like weird stuff is creaking in the background. But I'm gonna post up here. I ever hear Tyler playing? I'm gonna go listen to him. Oh yeah, today's video is brought to you by Sprite because you know, when you ain't feeling so good, Sprite's that motherfucker that's gonna get you right. I said that's right. Sprite. Yeah.